first, this Millrose 60, Gordon, is shaping up to be really good in a couple weeks. It's already going to be intriguing because we're going to have the return of Christian Coleman coming back after his suspension. He's a world record holder, owner of most of the top 5 times in history in the 60. This is his bread and butter event. Curious just to see how he does after the long layoff. But then you throw Ronnie Baker in there, who's a spectacular 60 runner on his own. Trayvon Bromell, who ran really well last year in the 60 and obviously a great 100-meter runner. And then Noah Lyles adding a bit of star power in there as well. We always downplay indoor, and we're always used to people scratching and backing out. Are you surprised that this many big names are running against each other this early in the season?
No, I'm not. I think Millrose does a good job of paying athletes to come and compete. And I think the appearance fee and just the opportunity is too hard to pass up. I think the definition of whether or not an athlete truly cares about indoor is how they approach USAs and ultimately going to Worlds.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
there's a lot of athletes. I mean, Allison Felix comes and does Millrose games
Hmm.
all the time, even though she doesn't go on to do USAs. And so I'm not surprised. I think we're in a unique situation where we could have multiple stars at the same time because Christian Coleman was missing for
Hmm.
2 years. And because
Right.
he was missing, it allowed for another star to be created. And by
Hmm.
star, I mean like top guy, right? Top dog. So Coleman is kind of, we think of Coleman as a 2019 Coleman, but then you have the people who ran well in 2021. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Coleman still stays in his status of he never lost, right? Because
Hmm.
so you have all these
Hmm.
people who are now developing a resume.
Right.
And, Coleman, world record holder, Bromell, world champion in 2016, Baker, third fastest ever. It turns out to be something pretty good. And then you have Noah Lyles, who's just a star because of what he's
Yeah.
been doing on the outdoor track. So it's going to be exciting. And if I had to predict, I have, I think Coleman is going to be good. I was actually thinking about this.
Bold
You know,
pick. The world
no,
record holder will be good.
no, like I was actually like Coleman. He's gone for 2 years. Is he going to come back and be the regular self? Is he going to be 80% of what he was in 2019? Is he going to be 110% of what he was in 2019? And I was trying to think like, did Coleman lose out on his prime? And I was looking at it. I was looking at his age, and I was kind of like, you know what? I think Coleman is going to be it's going to come back where he left off. At first, I thought it was going to be he was going to be less than what he was in 2019, but now I'm thinking he's going to be the same, if not better. I don't think he's going to come back as a 80% of 2019. I think he's going to come back as 110, 105% of 2019. If that's true,
Yeah.
I'm willing to say I think Coleman will be the favorite in the sprints in 2022.
Right.
Uh,
But the
so
fact remains he missed the prime Olympics.
yeah,
That still is a fact that will never be changed from history. And when we get to the end of his career, we'll be able to say, all right, was that just a blip on the radar, or did that end up being clearly his best chance? From a competition perspective, it makes sense that he's going to run this race because everybody's going to be rusty because it's going to be early season. If his suspension ended in late February or March or May, it would be tough for him to go against guys, even though he's
yeah,
obviously got the PRs and the medals to back it up, with guys who are already race sharp. Unless somebody's been running low key 60s for the last week and a half that we don't know about, everybody's going to go into this race trying to feel it out. So it makes sense for him to start at this point where everybody else is starting. New year, opener, he's on the same page as everybody else.
I mean, look at this Instagram post from 5 days ago. Does that not look like the fastest man in the world? I think it does, in my opinion. All black. He's ready to go. I'm all, I think I think he's gonna be good. Yeah, I think he's the
You
favorite.
say it as if it's
I
news. I don't think anybody
no, but
doesn't
no,
think. Who thinks? Raise your hand if you think he's not going to be good. in the
Fred
comments.
Curley
Send
raises
us an email.
Fred Curley raises his hand.
I think he's
Trayvon Bromell
Fred
raises
Curly.
his hand.
No,
Andre
no. They
DeGrasse
think he's
raises his
gonna.
hand.
No, there's a difference between thinking he's gonna be good and thinking you're still gonna beat them. Of course, his competition's gonna think that they can still beat him, but I don't think anybody thinks Coleman missed out on his opportunities to be fast in the 100. He's not 35 years old. I think
Yeah.
everybody understands this guy is still a threat, and I think he's gonna throw something down really fast at Millrose, and then anybody who had any qualms about it, any reservations, is gonna think, all right, yeah, we're back to where we are with this guy.
I was just surprised how young he was. He's only 25 still. He turns 26 in March. So
Yeah,
I was like,
well,
okay, you're still in your prime because your sprinter prime for most people ends around 28, 29. So
right.
and Gatlin was different. He obviously ran into his 30s, but he still got a good 3-year run in him, in my opinion. And by
Right.
run, I mean where you're able to run 9.8s and 9.7s. So I think, yeah, I think it's gonna
Well,
be exciting for whatever, and doesn't have to do USA's because he has a bye, so that's gonna be interesting. And yeah. Anyway, I just want to get
nobody
it
had
out
a
there. I
chance.
think he's gonna be good. I know that's probably a dumb take because it's like you think the world champion is gonna be good, but
Yeah, world
it's a
record
take in
holder.
my opinion. So
Yeah. Look, he's going into you could say his 60 is better than his 100 because he's the world record holder as well too. So
yeah,
he's entering into his best event at a point in the year when everybody else is going to be just rounding into shape or just getting into sharpening, right? Like that's the difference. It'd be totally different if we're talking about, hey, he only has 2 races outdoors before USA champs. Like how good's he gonna look? Or his suspension ended right on the cusp of world championships. Can he get in
yeah.
shape in time? He's got plenty of time. He's got plenty of time. Like once the ban got reduced, it was clear that he was gonna have plenty of time to get ready. I'd be surprised if he wasn't sharp. Women's sprint news. Any news